Hi, Bulldogs. How y'all doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Doing great.
My name is Kitrina Rhodes, and I'm a native of Duplin County. I was born and raised, grew up in Rose Hill, North Carolina. And I later moved to Beulahville, where I graduated from East Duplin High School. I have 2 kids, and after graduating, I continued some of my college at James Sprunt in the healthcare field. And I became a CNA and CNA 2, and I've been working in this field for over 30-some years. And in working with this field, it has been my passion, really, that I started working with individuals, and then you get attached to them, and I just kept on. And then later on, probably about 10, 15 years ago, I went into the mental health section and became an AFL provider. And in doing the AFL provider, what I do is I keep individuals in my home. And right now I can only keep 1 in the home because I'm not full-fledged licensed like I'm trying to become now. In doing that, I had a client that she was my first one. I kept her over 5 or 6 years. And I came so attached to her till it was just like she was one of my children or something in the home. And when she got sick during COVID time, it kind of threw me for a loop. But then that was greater that I wanted to do more. So this is where I came up with the idea with Special Touch. And Special Touch Assisted Living will be a facility that houses 3 to 4 individuals, is my goal. And they will live in like a home setting, just like their home, 24 hours a day. They go to a day program, then they come back in and they're home for the night and start their next day as they were family oriented. And with this, I'm going to be dealing with mostly individuals with developmental disabilities. And in our services, we will include meal preparation, medication administration, 24-hour supervision, transportation, and helping them try to become self-sufficient if they ever wanted to move out on their own. I've wanted to do this too because here in Duplin County, it's a great growing need for it. It's researching and talking to different people. There's not very many competitors solving the problem there. I will be solving it for disabled adults. It's a lack in this area. You don't have very many people that have people to care for them anymore. Some of them go in these homes and just leave them and never come back and check on them or nothing. And then they get specialized care. Some of my competitors would be these places in Duplin County, but most of them offer elderly and sick individuals. Mine is just a little bit different. And we have the different Autumn Care Village, Rose Hill Gardens, the Wellington Park, Dayspring of Wallace. But as I say again, it's not the ones that deal with mostly mentally developed individuals. How would I locate the different individuals to place them in the home? I would go through healthcare providers, different government agencies such as Trillium, East Point, community organizations, and different insurance companies in dealing with the individuals. My marketing, like I said, would be website, social media, direct calls, emails, word of mouth, so to speak, just putting it out there to get the individual, and family members are welcome to come, view the site, and interview, and we can go from there. And actually the cost for running a home like this with the private rooms, a private room is anywhere from $35,000 to $5,000. Semi-private is $2,800 to $4,200. And if you're dealing with Medicare, Medicaid, they pay a little bit less. And with Medicaid, theirs is anywhere from like $3,500 to $7,000 a month to deal with, I do an individual. So, and being that said, I know I would not always have a full house, but in staffing, that would be my projection. The average would be anywhere from $4,000 to $6,500, depending on the level of care, because when you're in the mental health field, they go different levels for the client of their behaviors and different situations that they have that come up that's different from different individuals. So their levels change. And if I had 2 private pays, it would range anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. To Medicaid waivers, like I stated, was $35,000 to $7,000. A total month revenue for that, if it was fully housed, would be $17,000, and my yearly revenue would be $2,400. In doing this, I've already purchased the building. I have it. So now I'm going through the different costs of my inspections, my insurances, my equipment, and with doing all this, the total would be what we've averaged out so far to be right at about $50,000 to finish completing everything that I need to do for the facility. This is a picture of the building. And finally, as me and Ms. Joy have been talking in class, it's already here. So I've been going through a journey of waiting on it. And finally, they came about 2 weeks ago, and we've started getting it wired and everything. So it's underway. In working, we have, I will be the administrator. I'm certified. Then my workers will be certified CNAs. They will have to take training. So that was included in my cost to pay of their training and everything to get them set up to be able to help run this 24-hour service. And again, I would like to thank each and every one of y'all, Marine Federal, James Sprunt, all for giving me an opportunity to participate in this pitch. Do y'all have any questions?
Yeah, a question. Great presentation, by the way. Love what you're doing. You know, that's kind of hits home with me.
Yes.
I care for my mother, so
yes.
I understand.
I understand.
When I was reviewing your packet, and not question, just maybe a little bit more clarity. I noticed that looks like you're going to have a staffing RN on staff. Didn't I see something about an RN?
Well, we probably would have to have one come in eventually because they have to have their routine checks, and over top of the CNAs, they have to be licensed up under them as well.
I guess, and that's my question is what is your forward thinking, because we know we have a fixed cost with Medicare, Medicaid, and private pay on what they pay, is, you know, to expand and to have the, you know, the skilled people in those positions, you know, because it just, to make sure that you're making margins, that you are turning a profit.
Oh, yes.
Have you thought about that any?
Yes, I have. And right now, like I said, as far as getting started, I will have to bring different ones. I work in the healthcare field, so I know some trained RNs as well that I could probably get to come and work in with me. And gradually, like I said, once this one gets underway and going, I plan to expand and have many more. So.
That answered it. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
How challenging is it to be able to bring the RNs in, and how frequently would they be in a month?
Well, it's very challenging, but like I said, by me knowing different ones, I probably could find some that would come in and train. I mean, well, we wouldn't have to train much, but they would help train the CNAs and all as well in different classes and training, because you have to have that on staff for them to actually get the medication filled every month, and situations they have to go through, paperwork to fill out that they have to be signed off on by RN.
Okay.
And that was kind of where some of my line of questioning was going also, was thank you so much. Do those plans of care have to be developed by a nursing supervisor?
Yes, ma'am.
So you'd have to bring somebody in to create that plan of care.